Welcome aboard the Southern Service to...
Okay, so this video is long overdue, but I didn't forget. This is CJ, and this is my post-use review of the Floyd trunk and cabin luggage after traveling months in Europe. Okay, so this is the condition of the trunk after flying to 8 different countries and taking 10 different flights. As you can see, there are some black scuff marks here. Now, given that this is a trunk size, this one actually did get checked and was in the cargo space. Every time I checked it, I did put a elastic black luggage cover over it, and this is the damage that was sustained despite that cover. All of the issues are very superficial. It's a lot of scuff marks and some scratches. Although quite small, there is a chip in the black plastic. The scratch seen here is probably the largest sustained, and this occurred while transiting on a train without that protective cover on it. There are some scratches and scrapes on the wheel bearing, which I presume occurred from the cobblestone streets. As with all luggage, it will sustain some level of damage. However, with the Floyd Luggage brand, it's hardly noticeable because of its finish. To reiterate, during the time that the bag wasn't in the cargo space and I was using it to transit on public transportation like the trains and buses, I did not have a cover on it, and that's how this damage was created to the backside. However, it's actually not that noticeable when you actually have it standing up. It's only really noticeable if you have it with direct light hitting it and the position of the suitcase is in a horizontal position instead of an upright position. As far as the cabin size luggage goes, very minor damage was created during my long trip. It's mostly limited to scuffs and scrapes. However, like the trunk size, most of the damage was created on the backside, and that was largely due to frictional rubbing when the suitcase was not in an upright position while coming into contact with some other rough surface. In an effort to remove some of the scuffs and scrapes, I used a magic eraser, and that did seem to remove a lot of the scuffs. However, it didn't remove all of them. And obviously it did nothing for the deep scratches. Oh, and don't forget to wipe it down with soap and water after use of the magic eraser. Otherwise it'll leave a white shadow. Overall though, the cleaning of the suitcases did make a pretty sizable difference, and the suitcases look really good. The video obviously magnifies the damage, but to the naked eye, the damage is not really noticeable at all on either of the suitcases. As far as the interior goes, there are some minor stains to the lining, but very minor. I do have to acknowledge that my biggest disappointment was not the scuffs and scrapes, but rather this loose internal component of the recessed wheel bearing. It got loose and I'm not happy about it, and I don't really even know how it happened, but luckily it doesn't compromise the functionality of the suitcase at all. In conclusion, considering all of the amount of traveling that I did, I think the Floyd suitcases held up really well and sustained very minor damage, and I think they look great still. Despite its glossy finish, the scrapes and scratches are hardly noticeable. I know this review was highly requested and I genuinely hope it helped.